Oboe 1. Alfred Lord Tennyson na a, no mander 2. O used to be Callan Imroa, roa, for the dog s stone deaf, and es blind, can neither stand nor go But I means for to mock as o dodge as appy as iver I can, for I o as odbro evermore, nor I iver o ad model man. Thou s rode of his back when a baby, afore thou was gotten too old, for ed fetch and carry like oat. Was Alice as good as gowd? But fight we a woe when fought. Could houd 3 his own, and roa as the dog is naughty when and we're to bury his bone. And kept his head hoop like a king, and never not down we his tail, for never done note to be shamed on, when we was a halibi doll. And sarved me say well when lived, that, Dick, when cooms to be dead, I thinks as I'd like fur to have some sort of a sarvice read. For more good sense now the Parliament man it stands for us air, and I'd vote for him, my own sen, if could but stand for the share. Faithful and true them words be I scripter, and faithful and true I'll be fun. 4 up a 4 short legs 10 times for 1 up a 2. And maybe they'll walk up o 2, but I knows there uns up a 4, 5, bedtime, Dicky. But wait till the ears it be striking the hour. For I wants to tell the Oroa when we lived I halibi doll, 10 years and na the man no but have 1 glass of all. Strange and old fair 6 the else, and belt 7 long afore my da was Wisconsin half o the chimneys it was in 8 and twined like a band o The fellers as mocks them pictures, would coom at the fall o the year, and cattle there ends up o stools to picture the dower porch theer. And the heagle as hed 2 heads standing there o the broken stick. 9 and they never ed seed sick even 10 as gaudy hall hour the brick. And there the house one night but it down, and on it now goin into mangles and tone-ups. 11 and raw it slicked rough by the plow there, when the house were a house. One night I were sittin' alone, Wisconsin raver atherd my feet, and slee up and stills a stone, of a Christmas Eve, and as count as this. And the miters 12 as white, and the fences all on embolstered up wi the window 13 that night. And the cat were asleep a pan alongside roaver, but I were walk, and smokin' and thinkin' o things don't might tisn't sick wi the cock. For the men ate their supper ed sung their songs and ed their beer, and ed gone their wise. There was no but 3, and no one on 'em fear. They was all on 'em feardy o the ghost and doesn't he not sleep by the house, but Dicky, the ghost mostlands 14 was nobody rat or a mouse. And I looked out once 15 at the night, and the doll was all of a thaw, for I seed the beck comin' down like a long black snock I the snaw, and I heard great heaps o the snaw slushin' down fro the bank to the beck, and then as I stood by the door I feeled it drip o my neck. So I turned an agent, and I thought o the good o times at was gone, and the muni they ma by the war, and the times that it was coomin' on. For I thought if the state was a going to let in foreigners wheat, however was British farmers to stand agin o their feet. However was I fur to find my rent and to pay my men? And all along o the feller 16 as termed is back of hissin. Thou slip by the shomber above us, we couldn't he hired the call, sa mother ed tell ma to bring the down, and thy cradle and all. Fur the gel o the farm at Slipweevil and ed gotten where leave, fur to go o that night to Airfoil by cause o the Christmas Eve. But I clean forgot my lad, when mother gotten to bed, and I slip by my chair hop one end, and the free trot run my eat, till I dreamed at Squire walked in, and I says to him Squire, you're late. Then I seed his face were as red as the Yule block there I the grate. And he says can you pay me the rent tonight? And I says to him Noah, and he cotch howled hard o my harem. 17 Then how tonight this shall go The LL never, says I, be it turnin' ma howled up o Christmas Eve. Then I walked and I found it was roaver a tuggin' and tearin' my sleeve. And I thought as ed go clean wood, 18 For I know wise naughty is intent. And I says get away, ye beast, and I fetched him a kick and he went. Then he tumbled upstairs, for I eared him, as if he'd broken his neck, and I clear forgot, little Dicky, thy shomber door wouldn't he snack. 19 And I slip by my chair agin wi my harm hangin' down to the floor, and I thought it was roever a tuggin and tearin me was nar afor, and I thought at I kicked de imagine, but I kicked de thy mother instead. What artist nor in thearfer? The house is afire, she said. Thy mother et been a naggin about the gel o' the farm, she often zoots by summit wrong when there warn't not a muscle o' harm. And she didn't not solidly mean I were going that way to the bad, fur the gel 20 o was as Harry a trollop as Iver tripes di the squad. But mother was free of her tongue, as I often's eve tell de myson, say I kept by my chair, for I thought she was no butter island mothin'. And I says I de be good to the, Bess, if the de only ways let ma be good, but she scalped ma half hour o' the chair, and screamed like a howl gone wood. 21 Your man run for the leather. 22 Get up, if your only ways good for oat. And I says if I bean't no ways not nowadays good for note yet I bean't sick a note. 23 Of all notes as all hellas do as es bid. But the stairs is afire, she said. Then I seed her cryin', I did. And she beeld your man saw a little dick, and be sharp about it and all. I runs to the yard for a leather, and sets image in the wall, and I climbs and I mashes the winder hen, when I gets to the top, but the heat drove out I my eyes till I filled myson ready to drop. Thy mother was howdin' the leather, and tellin' me not to be skeered, and I wasn't feared, or I thinks leastwise as I wasn't feared. But I couldn't see fur the smoke where thou was a liggin, my lad, and raver was there the shombriolin and yopan like mad. And thou was a beelin' likewise, and a squealin', as if thou was bit, and it wasn't a bite but a burn, fur the Marquess. 24 Oh thy shooter yet? Then I called out Roa, 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 thought I didn't half think as ear, but cum thruff the fire we my bare eye's mouth to the winder there. He cum like a handle o' marcy as soon as eared his gnome, or like t'other handle I scripter at someone he die the flom, when someone et xd for a son, and promise a son to she, and Roa was as good as the handle I saw having a son for me. I broke the down, and I says I mun go up agent for Roa. Go up agent for the varmint? I tell yes I mun go And I climbed up agent to the winder, and clemmed 25 O'd Roa by the eed, and as cum off I my hands and I took him at first for dead. For he smelled like a hearse a sinkine, and seemed as blind as a poop, and hath on him bare as a bublin. 26 I couldn't waken him up, but I broke him down, and we got to the barn, for the barn wouldn't burn was squonce in the wind blowing hard to the way, and the wind wasn't like to turn. And I kept a callin' o' Roa till he wiggled his tail for a bit, but the cocks kept a crowing and crowing all night, and I hears 'em yet. And the dogs was a-yowlin' all round, and thou was a squealin' tizzin', and mother was naggin' and groanin' and moanin' and naggin' agin'. And I eared the bricks in the box. 27 Rumly down when the roof gave way, for the fire was a ragin' and ravin' and roarin' like Judgment Day. Warm and new their sewer lie, but the barn was as cold as oat, and we cuddled and huddled together, and hat. 28 Worsen zoop as we mote. And I broke roll round, but mother had been soaked with thought she cotched her death o' cowed that night, poor soul, I the straw. Half o' the parish run up when the rig tree 29 was tumblin' into la 8, but it is all hour now hall hour and 10 years in. To la 8, the mun get the to bed, but I cum and I llsquench the light, for we mow and eve no more fires and so a little dick, good night.